In this video, I want to show you the steps you can take to turn your current portfolio into a scalable, investor-backed cash machine that is capable of delivering you full financial independence and time freedom. All within 5 to 10 years, a lot sooner for some people, depending on where they're at. I mention that time frame because this process is grounded in reality. Based on my own hard lessons that I learned, I tried to get very rich very quickly, but got caught very badly in the 2008 crash. What I'm going to show you here does not require you to gamble everything. It does not require you to chase risky deals, and it does not require you to max out your personal borrowings. We want to build something that is robust and stable and has the potential to last you a lifetime and perhaps even end up being passed on to your kids if that's important to you. This is the same framework that I've used to help some of my own clients, people like who left school in his teens and has gone on now to build a portfolio that is generating over $1 million a year in income. And he's done that before he's 40 years of age. The structures that allowed my client to go from being a busy contractor working for clients to actually development in his own account, like working for himself, doing it at a scale that has completely transformed his life, but all the while compartmentalizing the risk so his downside is limited and he doesn't risk everything that he's built on the next deal and the roll of a dice. People with very different backgrounds and very different starting points, but the outcome is similar: greater time and financial freedom, so you can enjoy the life that you want to live the way you want to live it. Now, it's important to point out, this is not for beginners. If you don't already own property, then this video probably is not for you. This is for the person who has already done a couple of purchases, done a couple of deals. They've got a taste for property and they want a little bit more. They are perhaps feeling that they'd be a little bit further ahead at this point in their life. They may be earning good money and they may not be afraid of some hard work, but feeling a little bit behind is a feeling that you can't shake. I know I felt it before. Having equity on paper is all great, but how can I leverage it? How can I protect it? And how can I boost my cash flow so I can actually see a true path to financial freedom? If you're anything like me, you've probably spent nights staring up at the ceiling, wondering what is your next move? How are you going to move the needle financially in your life? You want to do it while you're still young and you still have the energy. Time is running out for some of us and you want to get a move on. You may have heard my story before. I lost everything in the 2008 crash. My home, my marriage, my business. Very tough place to find yourself. Thankfully, I was still young. I was 35 when all of that happened. But I did spend a year or two blaming everyone else for my woes. It was only when I sat back and reflected on where I went wrong and how would I do it differently next time. That's when I suddenly realized that experience changed me. And today I am wiser, far more structured, and ultimately what you want to be is in full control. My mission today is very simple: to help ambitious investors to build wealth in a manner that will survive the next downturn, because there will be another downturn. A badly structured portfolio is like a ticking time bomb. It looks great on paper, but when the music stops, the bomb goes off and it can completely blow up your life. My portfolio at the top of the market was 65 million in value and I ended up minus 16 million. The problem is many investors take shortcuts. They overlook the downside risk. They don't structure it properly and they build their wealth on weak foundations. Their strategy often lacks clarity. They're often personally exposed and the whole thing they are building is very fragile. Hustle is great, but there has to be a scalable structure underpinning all of your hard work. I have built my own property accelerator on 3 keys to unlocking wealth. The first is clarity, getting strategically clear on where you're going and what you're doing. Many investors do not lack ambition and they're not afraid of hard work, but what they do lack is a clearly defined path to wealth. As a result, they'll often go jump at different deals. They'll be looking at HMOs one year, they'll be flipping property the next. They don't have a long-term map, and the long-term map is very important if you want to convince investors, because they're looking for some sort of strategy that makes sense. Clarity comes from choosing a strategy that fits your background around your skills and your risk appetite, plus your timeline. We work helping our clients to identify exactly the type of deal that will make sense for them, the low-hanging fruit. What's the stuff that you should be going after? Get clear on that, and then get clear on how you would articulate that to investors. If you can articulate that to investors, then you'll be able to raise money from them. My client is a great example. Hard-working tradesman, keen to get off the tools while he was still young. He started systemizing his property deals, identified a sweet spot, and then it was just a matter of rinse and repeat. Very much aligned with who he is. Today, he works when he wants, and he can often spend months abroad enjoying good weather. Meanwhile, he's looking for the next deal. Now, the second key that will unlock wealth is conviction. So many people refuse to scale because they're afraid they could make a big mistake, heard the horror stories. Deep down, they're thinking, that could happen to me. Just one mistake could set me back years. And so they decide it's safer just to play small. If you're going to play small, it is usually because conviction is not there. Conviction does not come from blind confidence. Conviction comes from understanding risk and how property deals are properly structured. When you break it all down, market risk, funding risk, execution risk, all the different types of risk, you realize that much of them can actually be managed and mitigated. If that's possible, then it becomes a lot easier. Your confidence around being able to raise capital is really key to this whole process. It's huge. For most investors, the ceiling that they're going to hit is not going to be their ambition. It's not going to be their skill. It is going to be their inability to raise any more funds. Running out of funding, not knowing how to move forward and fund a deal, that's what holds so many people back. You're only going to get so far with your own balance sheet. It's almost inevitable that you're going to have to go and raise money from other people. Raising money, one of the problems with it is that it often feels quite uncomfortable. What am I going to say to somebody? How do I ask somebody for money? What if I can't deliver on the deal? There's a shift in mindset that is fundamental. You are not begging for money. You are offering an investor an opportunity to participate in a structured deal. That is where clarity and conviction come together, and investors will lean in when they see that. And when they lean in, capital becomes accessible. Unlocked this and he's powered ahead. I also have a client. When he came into the program, he started with a very, very small, very modest portfolio. But within several weeks of joining, he realized that he was not fully optimizing the portfolio, that there was actually hidden value in there that he hadn't unlocked. Opened his eyes, and now his portfolio, the very same portfolio he started with, is producing 3 times the income that it was prior to that. When you combine clarity with conviction and capital, you are no longer limited, or you stop playing small, you stop guessing, and you start thinking and behaving like a professional. You start building something that is real and, more importantly, resilient. It's going to stand the test of time. Realistically, I don't think $1 million a year in income is out of reach. Whatever your number is, for some people it'll be more than that. For others, it'll be far less than that. You decide. The key is that it's a robust portfolio that will stand the test of time, that'll go through the ups and downs of the market. The most important reason of all that is because you do not want this ticking time bomb to blow up your life. This is not an overnight thing, though. I'm not selling a get-rich-quick scheme. It takes time to put the structures in place, and if you're watching this and all of this is kind of resonating with you, you might be thinking to yourself, geez, this is where I need some help, or this is where I'm stuck. If that is the case, the next step is really simple. All you have to do is have a look down below. There'll be a link. Go fill in the details there, and I'll explain how it all works, the various options, and the cost. Scroll down if that's of interest to you, and I'll see you on the other side.